high angle strafe, you can do it from higher than 6,000 feet. You can pick a higher altitude than that. But when you do that, your distance from the target that you're hitting needs to be greater. Your lateral offset. You know how we were setting up about 2.5 miles with that visual cue? It ended up being about 2.5 miles. From a higher altitude, it's going to be about 3,800 feet off. And you're right, Otzi, good old trigonometry, because that's going to still get you your same wire. It's all about the wires you're taking. You want to be between 15 and 30 degrees for a high angle strafe to be effective. And for your low altitude, when we were trying to shoot for between 10 and 12, because that's what is optimal, but technically anywhere between 5 and 15. Your low angle strafe, you should always try and do it at 3,000. It can be done from lower, but you guys are getting the idea. This is all math. Like Otzi just said, trigonometry, geometry, whatever you want to think of it. You know, so when you reduce your altitude, just be aware of the fact that you're going to have less time to do everything and your pullouts and all that kind of crap. You know, it affects all of it. But if you stick with the, I'm not saying don't experiment, but you always know you can stick with the 3,000 and the 6,000 foot for the low angle and the high angle strafes. And you guys know you got something that works and it's very safe. You can teach this to your young guys or newer guys, whatever you want to think of them. And it's something that'll work for them, and they won't hit the ground. I mean, they may when they first start learning it, but after they get it down, very rarely will they ever hit the ground again once they get this locked in. It should be a second nature thing for us if you're interested in ground support stuff. Okay. Thanks, BF. General, what did you think, bro? You got any questions, and what's your feedback on the tactic?
Well, like BearForce, I've never used strafe mode except for, you know, the competitions like Gunsmoke and stuff. I usually try and stay up high. But I like the sight picture. The only thing I had a problem with is I had my lift vector off, so I wasn't able to see exactly what you were talking about there. But I think after one or two runs, I was able to figure out what it looked like in a 3D pit with track IR on. So I like the setup part because that gets you on a nice line, a nice angle into the target. And it's, you know, it's pre-planned. It's not like you're just winging it out there trying to, you know, pick a target and snipe it off. So I really like that. So just need a little more practice on it, and I think I'm good to go.
Copy that. Thanks, General. Hot seat.
Well, what was striking me through the entire thing as I was rolling in was just exactly how useful this type of setup would be for manual bombing. And I don't know why that occurred to me, but
Hachi, I love you, man. Let me interrupt you for just a second. This is pretty much exactly the same kind of technique that you use for a manual bombing delivery with the old manual sight like we did in Gunsmoke. It's also the same setup you'd use even using the CCIP Thumper. It's the same kind of thing.
Hachi, get your nose out of Thumper's ass.
For your manual... For your manual sight, you typically want to go with steeper stuff. I found works better. Old World War II Stuka 60 degrees down stuff. But even using the CCIP Thumper with this technique, CCIP Thumper in a 500 or a 2,000 pound bomb, this is exactly what you do. You've got another thing that they use is called an offset point, but for all intents and purposes, it's about 85% the same kind of setup. So yeah. All right, Hot Seat, go ahead. Sorry, man.
Well, I'll just have to kind of spank myself here because I was getting a really high wire on my low approach. I was anywhere from 25 to 30 degrees on a lot of them, and I'm not sure why that was. I'm sure I was just too close when I did the roll-in.
Yeah.
I like it, though. It's definitely something new. I've got to practice my low approaches.
Well, he hit his targets very nicely. I can vouch for that.
Yeah, and if you are
something else
too steep, it does mean you don't have enough hot seat or have enough hot seat. That's exactly what it means. It means you got to look for a little bit different sight picture and push out a little bit more away, put a little bit more out from you above the rail.
Something else that was surprising to me was the short amount of time between when you set up the direction with the gun cross and then transfer into tracking with the pipper. That all happened really quickly, and I was surprised by that. That's about all I've got.
Okay. Shuka, any questions and feedback on the tactic?
I really don't have too many questions. I just know I need more practice and proficiency, so I'm just doing it off of muscle memory and not thinking about it.
I was shooting the window.
It's good to get a couple of runs in. Yeah, if you practice it, it gets easy.
Okay, is that it, Shuka?
Yeah.
Okay. Wrong way?
I never thought about using the gun cross, but yeah, I was getting that visual cue is a nice thing for setting up for the attack. I don't think I was even over or under any of them. Although I do notice at least on mine, maybe I just need to declutter the damn HUD. For the low level, I can't find the stupid dot, the death dot on it for the low angle because it's interfering with other stuff. I may just have to declutter the HUD for that when I know I'm going to be doing that. Other than that, I thought it was pretty cool to find all this out. That's it.
Cool. Yeah, it seemed like you guys were having fun. I love this stuff. I can't tell you how much real-world stuff transfers to Falcon. Every single thing I've ever done, this real-world tactics transfers to Falcon perfectly. And the video that goes along with this training, the real video, not the one I made, but the real Air Force weapons school one, actually has shots from Falcon in it. I wish I could share that with you guys. I can't. Yeah. Yeah, it does. They use Falcon to, where they're making the move, and they showed some real HUD footage. They show Falcon HUD footage. They show Falcon a jet, and they're in the outside view behind it, and he's rolling in on the targets and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool. This real-world stuff, it transfers very well to Falcon, and it's good shit. Anyway, it's something I wanted to get down. It felt like you guys were learning something new to me, so hopefully this will transfer over well to green flag. We're going to need it. And I think the main thing, other than what everybody already hit on, is it's not that easy to get eyeballs on the target, and that's what some of our other training is going to do. We're going to be doing some pretty cool tactics to help each other get visual on targets. It's one of the hardest things to do in real world, and it's one of the hardest things to do in Falcon. A little bit harder in Falcon, even, because the little freaking targets like we're trying to look for on the ramp, they'll like to disappear in and out, you know? And if you're a certain distance away, you can't see them at all unless you use the look function or you got track IR and lean in. So that's a big problem with us doing close air support. It's true in the real world too, but it's even harder in Falcon. And we're going to work on some tactics to try and help out. And I think you guys are going to dig them. I don't know if we'll do them tonight. I don't know. It's getting pretty late already. But we'll definitely do another training thing next weekend. And then after that, it's game on pretty much for green flag. And just a reminder for the people that are attending that, it is not a competition. It's an exercise like red flag. It's just on a smaller scale, more focused on close air support and seed. And we're not going to be competing against each other. It's a training exercise. And this one's, and red flag, the way we do it will be different than anybody else that I know of in Falcon Land. It's going to be like the real shit. We'll have guys planning. General and BearForce are going to be heading this one out as the JFAC and the Deputy JFAC. They'll be setting the ATO initially until that's not really a concern anymore because we're responding to close air support calls. We're going to work closely with working with the Army, quote unquote, as much as we can in Falcon. We're going to have a little bit of aggressor stuff right at the beginning, but then that'll taper off. And it's going to be like the real thing. You guys are going to be planning. You guys that are flight leads and package leads, you guys are going to be doing detailed planning, setting stuff up to get the job done. So hopefully some of what we did tonight will come in useful. I think it will. And we'll see how everything goes. I'm going to go smoke one right quick, and I'll be back. And we'll see if we go up for another one or not. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, Thump, I got to call it a night, dude.